Hey, Jennifer Lucas Gibbs here, coming at you from a brand new show. I figured today is December 1. Great time to start the gift giving season with you giving something to yourself. And I was thinking of this just the last couple of days of how I've been wanting to step myself into a kind of that newer, higher version, right? We're always trying to improve ourselves. And I have a couple tricks up my sleeve that I was using on myself in the last night and then a week or two ago. So I want to share those with you so you can help give yourself that gift of a new self-image too, especially during the holidays when we can sometimes, maybe do get off our eating plan or things that make us feel sad about ourselves, or maybe we realize we're not as generous as we should be as humans and as gift givers. Whatever it is that you want to upgrade about yourself, I'm going to give you a little tip, and part of it's kind of imagining yourself as you already are at that next level. And I know it sounds really basic and easy to do, but I'll give you some examples so you can see how you can do this for yourself. So the other night, I've been working on a new project for my website, and I would invite you to seeyourselfbeautiful.com, where I'm doing a challenge, and that's kind of fun. So I've been working on some aspects of that project to make sure it's super awesome for everybody that comes and joins us. And wherever you're at, there's a new challenge starting soon. So check that out. But what I was doing is I had been working a very long day on my computer, and I thought, I'm in a mastermind kind of a group of millionaires. And I'm like, what would some of them choose to do at 6 or 7 o'clock on a night that they had worked intensely on a project? Right. And so I thought, you know what? Even though there's still more to do on the project, right? Like, as a busy, productive woman, there's always things left on your to do list, right? And so if I were already, at that next level that I'm working to achieve for myself and my business, what would I do? And I would just chill with my family. And so I decided to just clock out, even though I work from home, right? Which means like shutting off my lamp and walking out my door and down the hall, right? And I just switched to being present with my family, because not because I had to, not because it was time, not because I felt obligated to do these things that bring me balance. And like, as an entrepreneur, it's super fun to keep working all the time sometimes, right? But I did it because, if I were already at that, $1 million mark or $10 million mark or whatever is that next phase for where you're heading, from myself, I was imagining that, then I would just chill with my family. I wouldn't worry about it. I would know that my team is taking care of things, and I could totally enjoy a movie on a weeknight with my family, no stress, right? So that's an example. Just imagining myself like, what would future me do? What would the the me do that already achieved the goal that I'm trying to get, right? Okay, so another example is a couple of weeks ago, um, and this is in the idea of applying that new identity that's kind of out there in the future somewhere, applying it to yourself now, right? And it's easier said than done, but this was a thing that I did. I was in my closet. I have like a small walk-in master closet, and I was getting dressed, and I was looking forward to a photo shoot that I'm going to be doing soon, and I just kind of had the idea that even though I'm not on a runway, on a daily basis, that I'm still a model for my own business. And if you own a small business, you're like the face of your company, right? And so you're a model for your own business, or maybe you're a role model, or maybe you just post yourself on social media sometimes, and therefore you have photos of yourself in the public eye. So in my mind, I used that to say I'm a model, which was not how I had been feeling or necessarily paying attention to previously. But I thought, hey, I like this awareness, and so I'm going to call myself a model. And in fact, when I do business coaching, I sometimes have a framework that I use with people. That's the model brand, and it's MODEL. Each letter stands for something that we're going to go over in their business to help improve their business. And so I was thinking of all these things as a model, and just the idea of me reminding myself as I got dressed, like I'm a model, kind of made me want to behave like a model. Like, a model's going to drink a lot of water, right? She doesn't need to stop at my favorite bakery for a cookie, because that doesn't help her to her goals. And so I started without trying. Now, I want you to understand, this is not like white knuckle resisting, like, oh, I really want that treat. Oh, it's so hard, because that's a battle that eventually we lose, right? When we try to go against who we believe we are, deeply ingrained past patterns, it takes a lot of conscious effort, which your brain doesn't like to waste energy doing that, right? It really it takes support. It takes there's a handful of things that make that much easier. But just on your own, if you're battling back and forth without a solid decision in place, a real decision where you cut off any alternative, right? Which most people are really not familiar with making those kind of decisions, right? End up holding them, and they don't have the confidence in self that they can trust themselves to keep those kind of commitments, right? If you're missing all of those pieces, then eventually it's hard to win that battle, right? But if you can just say, "Hey, I am this person, and so I behave like that." It's not me trying to go against who I am. The new me is who I am. And so you just kind of put that on like a hat. You put that identity on like a hat. And I love hats, and I love winter because it's hat season. So I hope these ideas are helpful to you, because a lot of times we walk around with identities that we don't realize we have. They're assumptions about ourselves, and they're under the surface. That's the whole point, is that everything in our subconscious is designed to make it easy and brainless and effortless, so we don't use any energy expending, calories trying to think about and consider all kinds of decisions. They're supposed to be on autopilot, right? So a lot of the ways assumptions we have about what we're capable of or what we're going to choose, you're probably already assuming that if you resist your favorite treat or you've been on a diet X amount of time, at some point it's going to come to an end, and it's going to end badly. And then you'll be in a situation, right? Like, these are things that we don't want to think, but sometimes we just do think them, right? And so the idea of, in the diet example, if I was someone that's already lost the weight that I want to lose, how would I behave? I wouldn't be, at the end of my rope. I wouldn't be running out of willpower. I wouldn't be using all my will to resist, because eating healthy and staying on track would just be normal, right? If I had been at my desired weight in this example, if I'd been at my desired weight for 6 months or a year, what would I be doing? I wouldn't be stressing out about food choices, right? And so this is just an example of trying on a new identity, and one way that it's very efficient, because it kind of makes the decisions for you. You don't have to think about the decisions, because you already know in a split second. If you're a famous athlete and tennis player, and a ball comes at a certain angle, and you're Serena Williams, you know how you're going to hit the ball, right? Your body even knows without thinking. And so as our new self can become as easy and effortless as that, then everything that we want to grow into in our life becomes attainable. So I hope this is making sense. It's just a little thought I wanted to share with you. I think I'm going to be popping on and just sharing a few thoughts like this. And I'm casual today. I've been busy, and I have yet to get to the gym, and it's 6:30. Usually I'm a 6 or 5 a.m.er, and it's 6:30 p.m. right now. I've been intense in a project, but I'm about to go and get that beautiful gym time, because who I am is someone that exercises every day, right? It's not even hard. I just had to rearrange my schedule, because I've already embraced that as part of who I am. Now, it didn't always used to be that way. In fact, I used to go for weeks and months without exercising, and then I would feel bad about myself. And at some point, I just said, hey, if I want to make myself exercise, what accountability could I build in? And I decided to get certified as a dance instructor and teach fitness classes, because if I had to be there and unlock the studio and let the girls in, then I had to show up. So I for sure was not going to flake out. I made it impossible for myself to fail in that. And I did it so many times. It became part of who I was. And now I don't feel comfortable when I skip, because that's so much a part of who I am. So whatever you're trying to grow into, I want that to easily and effortlessly just become part of how you naturally behave without a single thought. Because here's a secret. Great achievers, high achievers, people that look so successful, and you look up to them and you're like, how do they do it all in a day? They're winning at everything. Well, step by step, they became the kind of person that does those things effortlessly. They're not working 100 times harder than you are. In fact, they're probably doing everything in flow and ease much more than us at lower levels that are trying to still step up. So the goal is make the new behaviors that take you to your goals automatic, and then the struggle ends. All right. Thanks very much. So glad you were with me. I am Jennifer Lucas Gibbs, founder of Infinite Step Mentoring and the See Yourself Beautiful movement. So join me over at seeyourselfbeautiful.com and enroll in the challenge. Take a couple days, 4 days with us and learn about who you really are, how beautiful you really are. I promise it will change the way you see yourself and the way you love yourself and the way you like yourself and then the way you like everybody else. So come and join us. Look forward to seeing you very soon. See ya.